Pa pa para pa, pa pa para pa, pa pa para pa. Due litri,
Due
due
litri
litri
anche
anche per
per
te.
te.
Okay,
Yeah.
so screen showing stuff on screen. Okay, so now topic is a very controversial image and news that came from our beloved Germany. Okay,
Yes.
that they want to pass a law under the
Hmm.
Working Time Act. I'm not gonna read it in the original language, but I'm trying. Arbeitszeitgesetz. Okay. Uh,
Un braccio alzato, prossima volta.
no, no, non c'è nessun braccio alzato, semplicemente tedesco. That the role, the main news in this act is to modify the standard rule of a maximum of 8 hours work per day by extending it up to 10 hours a day. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So they want to make everybody be slaves or something, work their ass off.
yes. The point, let's say, they want to. Sorry, I was reading a stuff, but okay, I was wrong. I was reading the wrong thing. Uh, so they want to modify these actual laws, and they wanna start. They wanna change the system in a way where the limit is not per day, but it is per week. So there will be a weekly maximum hours, which will be aligned with the European standard work time. So an average of 48 hours limit. Okay, of course there's differences per job.
Yeah.
So legally this will be the shift. So the work time will be considered weekly, not daily. This, what does this mean? Well, this means that in a day it would be legal to work 10 hours or more, even 12 hours a day, depending on the situation. Pa 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 pam, boy glue, base operation, pa 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 pa. This is seen from the people that support this idea as uh, a change about flexibility, okay, rather than making people work more. Of course,
Yes.
to focus on more on deadlines and more on project instead of just doing your 8 hours of work and you're done. It says that represent a more modern way of seeing the work. Okay. Of course, the
Yeah.
criticism are on the part that you can imagine that it will be too much charge on somebody's back. It will be too many hours, too long hours. There are people that can exploit the situation. So it's a situation where there could be pressure, let's say. Uh, so this is mostly what we're talking about today.
Yes.
Um,
And I think
the,
a part of the
sorry.
point also that if you do end up working more hours, you can end up like working more hours like weekly. Um, so long. So I think there is like a limit of time in which your average needs to come back to 8 hours, like daily, and 48 hours max weekly. So even if you do exceed, so you can exceed like making sure then to balance it out. So in the sense that you would still get rest, and even if you work a lot, then
Yes.
eventually. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yes, over a period of 24 hours, it says right here. Okay, it's of 24
Uh,
weeks. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that's the point. So there is a lot of course, there's a lot of technical parts that describe night war. We are not going to discuss these things because we, it's not the topic here. The point I wanted to make here was about the difference, about just understanding reality. And reality, I mean, like you working on a fucking restaurant in the
yeah.
services, restoration, and other also fields. Long hours are part of the normality, are part of the day-to-day habits.
Yes,
So in a way, these laws also probably tries and help regulate those type of behaviors. Okay, it's in a way they want to. This is my opinion. Okay, this is not something written. Okay, we can't see the intention of the people who wrote this law. Let's make this clear. But it's a way to regulate those kind of behavior and look at the reality instead of the imaginary world where everybody in all Europe is only doing 8 hours of work and that's it. We know it's not fucking true. There are some fields that are more susceptible of this than others. For example, restoration, hotels, tourism, where
Yeah,
the
everything
hours
in hospitality,
sometimes
really.
hospitality, yes, yes, hospitality is a good way to also hospitals, but I don't think stuff like that, shifts like that with nurses, doctors. Um, so yes, it's a way to address reality, and in if everything stays as it is, where this is what the law is trying to change, and there are not some unwritten bullshit, okay, or for example exploited by bad fucking assholes. It's just a positive change that looks at the reality. Where
Yeah.
the reality is there are jobs that need more hours to do something. It's more convenient for a person to, for an employer to just use the same people for the day to, because they know how the fucking day has gone. For example, in an hospital, uh, if there is a nurse changing, there's a nurse, there's emergency, there is staff, there's all this chaos. What the fuck? You can't just quit your job half day and another will start at your point. You cannot. You need to
No.
look at reality and you need to say, okay, there are places where this is needed, and it's better that this need is made low instead of just handled how the fuck the employer wants. In a way, of course, in the respect that okay, I have the 48 slash 40 hours limit per week. That's it. That is all I want to say. And
No, I
of
think
course there's worrying. Of course there's fucking
Mhm.
worrying. Human being is shit, so there will be exploit. There will be this will be exploited. But what the fuck can you do? Uh, it's not that big of a deal actually. It's
No,
even
I think this makes it could make it harder than indeed to exploit somebody, because I know that in hospitality it the lack of possibility to work more hours um makes it so that you do not get paid for all the hours that you work for. Doesn't mean that after 8 hours you're like, oh guys, I'm sorry, you guys have to step out of the restaurant because I have to send my employees out like home. It does not work that way. It works that as long as the guest stays, you stay. You have to. So you do 12 hours in a row. You do 13. You do 14 hours in a row if you're a cook, and you have to make the mise en place from 7 a.m. and then you have to do lunch, and then you have to do the mise en place for dinner, and then you have to do the service of dinner. Um, so I absolutely think that this helps a lot with regulating salaries and the being able to pay for all the hours. Um, in the instance in which your employer does not want to fuck you over and does follow the law, but
yes,
then
of course
in
we
that case the
also
issue is not the law, it's the employer.
yeah.
So for the rest, I totally agree with you. I absolutely do.
It's not that
Okay.
big of a deal. People are trying to make it look like it.
Yeah.
Address your reality. And yes, it's okay. I think these topics can be concluded. So, drinking, sorry, I forgot to drink. So nice, Santana.